We're already onto job number 3. Job 3, field 4. Ooh, car. So again, the whole thing about, you know, not having massively huge fields, although frankly this harvester is probably a little bit big for what we're doing here. Said I'd probably be better off with something like a sub 30 foot header, and this is definitely not under 30 foot. And made it. I also have a ton of milk to actually, you know what I did wrong there. We need to back that off so that I can get the Land Rover clear without getting the trailer stuck on the header. Sometimes that is not a thing that works out too well for us. Actually, frequently that's not a thing that works out well for us. Okay, we can just go for the cut in here. Let's open the top. And we're good. And we have a ton of little beehives all over the place. And as I said, no plans for canola this year, so who knows? Now I could, instead of doing what I was planning to do, we could do the slurry application on this field first, or digestate application. So you can see there's a lot of well-grown dead weeds in this field. I had left it until absolutely the last minute to drop the herbicide on this field. I was just so fortunate, I think is the best word. You know, I discovered that I wasn't using the crop sensor correctly, and this was one of the last 3 fields that we had that we could actually make the attempt to recover based on harvest ability. So I came out here with the sprayer, I sprayed this field with fertilizer with the crop sensors active, so that bumped it up to best application. And I was only putting like 5-10 litres per hectare out. But as I was driving over the field, I was looking, there's an awful lot of flowery things here that shouldn't be here. So I immediately had to go back and bring the herbicides to spray on the field. Otherwise we would have been suffering with our yield here a bit. But no straw here, so no more boosted BGA income unless we do contracts for wheat, barley or oats. And I have a feeling this is the last month we can do that for. I don't know how many of those fields are available. For this month I will definitely be doing, I think it's a hay contract up in the top 50, 51, field 53, which means we cut and deliver, and then all of the leftover just goes down to the cowshed and forms up as a potential feed for the cows next year. Oops. Find the tree. Yes. But definitely won't be making a mistake of buying this truck again on the next series. This truck just really can't handle it. As I said, I might look at actually running at least short trailer semis. I'm also thinking maybe run a small auger so I can park a tractor with an auger on the field and then cart with something else. Sidle up to here as best we can. That's not looking good. The engine is still running, so... Ooh. Okay, I'll just bonk the header into a tree. It's not working. There we go. Okay. But yeah, small auger cart and then a cart to transport. And I could use a semi truck with a trailer to cart on the roads and just shuttle the auger from the chaser bin from the harvester to the truck. That's something I don't think I've ever modelled that on any of my series. I have had auger wagons which I've used as come on, engage. I have used auger wagons for fertilizer and seed resupply in the field, and that's especially useful for a lot of the planters which have a terribly short capacity when it comes to seed. And so being able to do a resupply in the field is definitely a good thing. And this dates back to Farm Sim 17 and I can't remember whether it was Colborough Park Farm or Chellington. One of those two. I actually ended up running 3 vehicles for every job I did, on top of the vehicles that were doing the job. So harvester, I would have the harvester, a grain cart, and the diesel tank, because all of the fields in the game, and on that playthrough I wasn't playing with seasons, so there wasn't a delay of you have to wait for stuff to happen. You harvest all the fields as quickly as you can and get them replanted as quickly as you can. So I would have a diesel tank with the convoy and just head out on a field, do the work, come back, or do the work, and then as we went I'd have to top up the diesel tanks on the harvester, maybe on the carting tractor, just to keep everything running. But I would do all the fields in sequence, and big loop around the map because unlike today where all our fields are up in the top left corner, we pretty much own everything up here. On that particular playthrough, I had sort of field here, a couple of fields over here, some fields down here, so it was a huge loop to do all the harvesting. And it would use up all of the diesel in the harvester every time. And then once I'd done that, I had to cultivate all the fields, so I'd take the cultivator down, I'd take a seeder down, I'd take an auger cart with the seed in, an auger cart with fertilizer in, and the diesel tank again, and just run around all of the fields, planting each one in succession with different crops because I liked variety. And that's basically how I ran. It was just keeping everything resupplied on the field because I just didn't want to drive back to the farm to resupply with diesel or with seed or with anything like that because it was just too much hassle. And if you're in the bottom right corner and the farm's in the top left, it's going to take you half an hour to shuttle every vehicle up there to get it refilled. 44 Ranger, hello, I am doing okay. Mrs. Osa and Teenage Osa are out, so I have a nice peaceful home at the moment. And it's the 4th of July, so happy Thanksgiving. No, I did that joke already. Happy Independence Day. And happy grilling. But since it's a holiday, we get to do some farming and relax and enjoy something. Might not be enough room to turn around here. Oh! Oh, come on. Turn more. Mind the crop. Mind the gap. Oh. Well, we made it. So we are right at the end of year 6 harvest. I don't know when the year number changes over, because obviously the games, when you start a new save, you start in August, don't you? So I would have been expecting the year count to increase to year 7, but it hasn't, so whatever. I don't really want to leave the truck here. Because it will be in the way. I'll put it by the trees. It'll get it at most out of the way as I can. And jump back to the harvester. Fold that in. Oops. Let's go forwards. Is it worth checking the cows while we're not moving? Okay, cow food's gone up. No idea how much of the mineral feed that used. I guess next time we're in that yard, I'll take a look at it. That's a bit awkward. One thing I'm not comfortable with Sorghum is how difficult it can be to see the grain from some angles. Which is again why I tend to prefer a harvester with a navigation system. But we didn't buy it, so we're going to have to live with what we have. We're back up to £136,000, which is good. And then once I've baled up the straw in the other field and shuttled that off to the BGA, we'll be making, I think, around £12,000 per hour while the straw lasts. Once the straw's all gone, it's gone. Now, is this field's EV update? Yes, updated. Oh, you need to be soil type. This is 97. That's actually not too shabby. So we'll come about for the top headland. So I think I'm going to be surprised there is quite a lot of sorghum coming off this field. We are probably going to end up with a full grain cart and a bit more. Maybe 50,000 litres. Definitely more than I thought or said earlier. That's two headlands, 21,000, 27,500 litres of sorghum off two complete headlands. That's quite a bit. And there is probably at least that much left in the field, I would think. Let's try and get this on 70 degrees, 270, steady as she goes. So yeah, I'm not actually sure what time the parade is that Mrs. Osa's in. They left at 9 o'clock. I think it may be a 10 o'clock parade till midday-ish. So I'm probably, depending on how hungry I get, I may call the stream before they get back, but I'll definitely call it when they get home. But I'm not expecting that to happen for probably at least another hour. And oh, this is gonna be close. Ish. Dang. Oh, seriously? Wow. That could not have been any closer. What normally happens is I will have a narrow sliver at the end of the field and I will have to drive through it or reverse all the way back up the field in order to get the harvester unloaded. But you can't beat that. Okay, that'll put 31,500 in the truck. I will obviously fill up the harvester again. We'll unload and completely top off the truck and then fill up the harvester again and then take the grain down to the elevator, not the elevator, the mill. 31.5, yay. Okay, I'll pull forward a bit so it's not going to be in the way. And pipe in, thing on, cruise control, and we are rolling. 90 degrees is a good number. And back in Farm Sim 17, when I was running by compass, I would always tend to the side I've already done. So in this case, I want 90 degrees, but I would 89.9 was better, because it means if I left everything alone, we would track straight in a straight line, and we'd end up with more unused header on the left in this case, rather than missing bits of the field if I wasn't paying too much attention. If I'd gone 91 degrees, then we're drifting the wrong way and you end up with missed bits, very narrow missed bits. And there we go. And come about for the downhill, but that's 3,500 in one strip. This is a fairly good yield. On this side of the field, it's kind of okay. On the other side of the field, it is quite noticeably better, or the best. Okay, 69.9, that's good enough. But even tracks of 270.1, 270.2 can get you in trouble. Doesn't look like it will, because I was going to say that doesn't look like a full width header. That potentially could be a full width header. This could be a very good guess at where I should have cut in. Anyway, get this done. So where are we at? 6,600. 800. I think we can possibly make all the way up the field once. And that will potentially give us a full harvester. 90, 89.5, that's a little excessive. 90.7, too far the wrong way. There we go. 89.7. Now, obviously, once you've got guidance steering involved, there's no guesswork. There's no guesswork on the cut-in. You're just running the rows as guidance steering determines. But 1, 2, 3. We've probably got about 5 total harvester loads here. This being the end of the third. Oh, actually, yes. No, we have 3 in there. So that's the end of the 4th harvester load. And then, yeah, I'm not going to get a full harvester load before I have to stop again. We're looking at removing 3,500 here. Also didn't look at how much milk the cows have, because 73,000. I want 2,000 more before I run the milk truck. Okay, so room for 3,500, potentially that other row. I'm finding it notoriously difficult to estimate how wide this is compared with the harvester. But yeah, that's easy. So by the time I get down to the bottom, we should be pretty much 10,500. Probably not exactly. Take the cart down to the grain mill, we'll empty that, we'll come back, we empty the harvester, and then we go the rest of the field. Let's see how that works out. Oh, butterflies. That's cool. Yeah, I definitely need to get in the yard and cut the grass. That was the thing I was saying earlier. We've had so many scattered thunderstorms and rain showers this past week. Our grass has gone from pretty dead to it needs to be cut. So I need to take care of that. 9,800. At this point, I don't have to do a cut-in. I can do this edge. I could do rounds now, just round the outside,